And happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the PlugTalkSports live show. This is episode 203. You got me, Danny Torres, alongside Jonka. Don't stop. Happy Monday to everybody. This is the second to last episode for October. I don't know about you, man, but I feel like October has literally flown by. Next Monday will be the last episode of the month before we head into November. We'll also get a little bit of a break as we get closer to the holidays. Obviously, New Year's and Thanksgiving and Christmas, we get a little bit of a break there. But here we are, episode 203. Jonka, we're going to start with our good and bad. Let's start with good. Give me some good news.
Good. I mean, we're going to be talking about it later probably in the show. But I'm going to bring up a couple other things, but it's going to have to be my Patriots still rolling. Drake May, probably a possible MVP candidate in his second year, looking probably better than Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels at this point. I don't know about Bo Nix. That's another thing. But besides that, I mean, I was opening cards today. Pulled probably the best card you can get. Pandora, Jackson Dart. So it's a good thing for me. Overall, I'm chilling, work, stuff. Can't complain. Living. Top of the AFC East, second in the AFC. That's what we're talking about, baby. We're back. Not yet, but we're almost there. Oh, you got to represent. Oh, yeah, and the Golden Boot for Messi. So.
For me, it has to be man. There's no other better way to start out a week than doing your work in the day and then heading out for a tea time and finishing your Monday off with hole 18 as the sunset is right there glaring on hole 18, and you come home, have a little bit of wine, and have a good meal, and then we're here to talk some sports. So nothing gets better than that. To start off your Monday. So that's the good for me. Bad, what is the bad for you, Jonka?
I think we all know what it is. We're going to get into it possibly in the next 7, but I don't want to say too much, but, it was kind of disappointing last Friday night. I still don't know why we have Friday night games. We're probably the only top team that has Friday night games. So that's like a little snippet. If you guys know, if you don't know, you're going to find out sooner or later. But I'm low-key, I'm not, depressed, but I'm kind of, low-key ticked off because of that game. So, yeah, just letting you – it's this little snippet for you guys. These are, Yeah.
All right. Bad for me, man. I can't necessarily say there's been – anything bad really in the past week that I can think of, to be honest with you.
Must be nice.
You know what? I'll throw this in there because this was really bothersome. But obviously you guys know I'm the voice of Barry University Athletics. We're the number 3 team right now in the nation for volleyball. The number 1 team in the nation happens to be in our conference, University of Tampa. And we faced off this past week, and it went all 5 sets, and we lost by 1 point, 15-14 in that final set, or 15-13, something like that. It was close. I know it was between 1 or 2 points. It was close. Uh, we stay at number 3. The rankings just came out. We stay at number 3 actually, but man, I really wanted that number 1 spot. I wanted it bad. But you know what? Shout out to the girls. Actually, we'll be having um, Wednesday afternoon. We're having our 5th episode of Plugged In. It's a series that we do virtually only on at Plug Talk Sports. Um, we'll be having Ivana Sujovic from Barry Women's Volleyball. Will be our 5th episode of Plugged In. Her nickname, I got her the nickname Queen of Aces. She's dope. She's awesome. She's actually from Tampa. Has some Serbian descent in her. She has just a great personality, great person, and I can't wait to interview her. And we'll talk a little bit about that game on that Plugged In episode. But man, really wanted to have that number 1 spot in the nation. But again, they took the number 1 team, 5 sets, very good, pushed them to the limit, and it's gonna be fun to watch once we come playoff time in the conference. But yeah, that would be the bad was dropping that game to number 1 Tampa. Jonka, you ready?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're
Can't
gonna
stop the
talk.
clock.
We're, we're gonna talk about the AP Top 25 poll. Jonka, if you can show us here the Top 25 poll, and we'll go over it. We'll explain, talk about what we like, what we don't like, talk about games that we enjoyed this past week.
Yes, sir. Let me go share screen.
As Jonka brings it up for us.
Okay, do you see it?
All right, here we are. Top 25. So Ohio State is going to remain at number 1. I will say I'm very happy. At number 2 is Indiana. Mendoza, Columbus guy, getting it done. I'm very happy about that. At 3, we talked about this yesterday, Jonka. Texas A&M, the Aggies playing well. Number 4, who's kind of turned their season around since the beginning, is the Alabama Crimson Tide. Then we've got at 6, we've got Georgia, or 5, should I say. We have Georgia. At 6, we've got Oregon. At 7, Georgia Tech. So you're lucky. We talked about this also. Miami's very lucky. I think they have a very easy schedule. I think that they're very lucky they don't have to play Virginia or Georgia Tech. At 8, Ole Miss. At 9, Miami. We're going to get into that and why they're number 9. At 10, Vandy. Vanderbilt with a good win. 11, BYU. 12, Notre Dame. 13, Oklahoma. 14, Texas Tech. 15, Mizzou. 16, Virginia. 17, Tennessee. 18, South Florida. 19, Louisville. 20, LSU. 21, Cincinnati. 22, Texas. 23, Illinois. 24, Arizona State. And 25, Michigan. So, Jonka, do you want me to introduce the elephant in the room, or do you want to do the honors of why Miami is sitting at number 9?
I'll do the honors. I mean, I kind of I hinted at it at the beginning, so I'll talk about it. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed in how we came out after our second bye week. Again, I'm gonna start off with the bye week thing.
Okay.
I don't know why we have a bye week and then a game and then another bye week. Whoever made that schedule, kind of like, I don't know what that was. It kind of like, it's like you go to bye week, you focus for the next week, then you lose your focus, and then you have to like regain your focus after like basically 2 vacation weeks, technically back to back. And so I'm not gonna use that as an excuse as like why they lost focus. I mean, Louisville is a good team. I was telling you yesterday. I think the voters were trying to be slick in a way where how does Louisville have the top rated defense in the nation, but yet somehow wasn't ranked?
Yeah.
But yet they went to overtime against 16 Virginia. Well, at the time they were 18, now they're 16. So I don't understand how that works, what math they're using. And at the same time, if Louisville beat Miami and Miami beat South Florida, how was Louisville under South Florida? I don't understand that part. That I do not understand. But besides that, I'm gonna go into the game. Yeah, I was I was dumbfounded in how bad the tackling was in like the first half. It was, but the defense got into their groove and they finally got their feet in.
Yep.
But just Jeff Brom, the head credit to Louisville and Jeff Brom, the head coach, did a fantastic job making crazy plays, using 3, 4 quarterbacks in one play just to throw the defense off. Whatever you can do to win against at the time number 2 Miami. I mean, I gotta give credit to them. Isaac Brown, is Homestead High School, Fire, South Florida kid. TJ Capers made
Yep.
the game saving interception from Columbus. And you got Miller Moss and Chris Bell. That team is not to mess with. They're legit, and I've been saying it all season. I think the ACC is deeper than people think. Just like we're seeing it right now with Georgia Tech. We saw that last year with Georgia Tech and Georgia when they went into like 8 overtimes. So I'm not gonna sleep on the ACC, but I will say Carson Beck played a terrible game, and Shannon Dawson. I don't know what he was doing. I think I saw one of his quotes that he takes responsibility on the scheme for that game. He needs to fix some things. There were some miscommunications with some of the receivers, and that's why Carson Beck expected the player to be in that situation, which ended up being intercepted by TJ. But overall, it's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, there, even despite the 4 interceptions by Carson Beck, you still had a chance to win you still had a chance, bro. I think you lost by 3 or 2, if I'm correct. If you just throw 2 less interceptions and just take care of the ball, or even in the like the safest case, if you just run the ball at the end of the game and you use the timeout with 2 seconds left, you kick the ball, you make it, you tie the game, you go to overtime, and then whatever happens in overtime, you still get the ball no matter what. So I don't know what the problem was in that play, in that thinking offensively. I don't know if it was Carson Beck that just decided to throw the ball and not run the ball. I don't know. I do not know. I don't have the inside information for you. But I will say this is where the real stuff comes out. We play Stanford.
Yep.
This weekend at home. Stanford just coming off a win off of FSU, which is much to say because FSU right now is 4 straight losses and looking like they're in the dumps and they're about to fire Mike Norvell. If Miami does not win by 2 possessions or more, so I'm saying 10 points or more, and it looks like it's a struggle most of the game, and the offense looks kind of lackadaisical and not there, not put together, but the defense is sound, but we win like a 24 to 3 game or something like that, it is the margin that I'm looking for, but not the result. It's not the result I want. We should be blown. If we're going to be considered the top team, one of the top teams in the nation, you should be able to handle your business against Stanford, who I think, if I'm correct, if you're seeing the screen right now, is 3-4 and 2-2 in the ACC.
Yep.
Miami is 5-1 and 1-1 in the ACC. Miami cannot afford, and I'm letting you guys know on the bottom of my soul, they cannot afford to lose one more ACC game. Cannot, because then you're gonna have to rely on Virginia and Georgia Tech and Louisville to all lose at least 1 to 2 games in the next 6 weeks, which is probably not going to happen since they're the top teams.
You think there is a possibility that Miami, being, let's say, the strongest team in this conference, in the ACC, a possibility that they do not play in the ACC title game?
Yes, there is a possibility because let me show you. Where is it? No, actually, no. Wait. Standings. All conferences, ACC. Look at the standings right now. This is what it looks like at the moment. Miami is. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. ninth right now. Despite their ranking, they're ninth in the ACC. Obviously, we just started ACC play, so this is going to fluctuate. But as of right now, look at this. You got Hurricanes, you got Cardinals, you got the Virginia Cavaliers, and you got Georgia Tech. Look at the conference play. Look at 4-0, 3-0. SMU, who we play in 2 weeks, in SMU is also 3-0. Pittsburgh, who's a low-key dangerous. So we play at Pittsburgh at the end of the season. Duke with Danny Maez. We just lost to Louisville. Cal is okay. Stanford, the record is not is whatever, but they still beat FSU, and so did we. So we have to win this game, and we have to win out. We have to win out to have any shot of making the ACC championship game. If we win out, there is a chance that because we're a one-loss team, which I'm gonna go back to the rankings right now. Okay, here we go. One loss doesn't really it affects you, but it also because of Alabama, they were able to rebound and win out the rest of their season. They could do it. Ty Simpson, the quarterback, is playing really well right now. They can rebound their season. So one loss doesn't define you, but at the same time, you cannot afford to lose two because Notre Dame did lose 2 in a row, but look at that. They have the easiest schedule basically.
I wanna ask you, if Miami, let's say Miami loses to Stanford, right? If it's a big if they lose to Stanford, where do you think they fall to in this ranking?
If Miami loses to Stanford, I think they fall out of the top 25.
Wow.
They should fall out of the top 25. Not like what I think the voters are going to vote for, but what I want to happen.
Realistically, what do you think happens if they lose?
I think they fall out of the top 25. You cannot lose to a good ACC team and then a bad ACC team in back-to-back weeks. You cannot. And especially at home. Losing to Louisville, okay, respectable team at home, it happens. It happens to everybody. But you cannot lose to a bad team at home. And I think that game is at 7 p.m. It's going to be a night game on Saturday. So,
do you think that they give you any challenge?
I would have to watch the game against FSU to give you any sort of I guess any depth information. Yeah, any insight on it. But I think Miami has the talent to beat Stanford and blow them out. To be honest, I think this is just one of those games where Miami is probably going to start off a bit with that running game. Milk the clock, get Stanford O-line and D-line tired the whole game, and then they're going to blow them out by the end. Exactly what they did to South Florida. I think we're looking at another South Florida game. But I want to say in case for Miami though, like I said last week with everybody here, for some reason, the referees are not calling holds for Ruben Bain. If all of you and you two, Daniel, if you go back and watch the film, you mean to tell me not one call went for Ruben Bain at holding the whole game? I'm sorry. Every drive they were at least holding him once and they never called it. And one of those drives could have affected them scoring a touchdown or a field goal, which could have easily changed the game. And obviously the field goal did change the game because that's how much you lost by 3. So
I'm not saying it couldn't have, but also your quarterback with a loose trigger at his hand, doesn't help.
That doesn't help at all. The Carson Beck, listen, I already told you Carson Beck as of right now is dead to me. He needs to gain my confidence back, or gain my respect back, because for me, I think he has to win out the rest of the season. You cannot lose another game for the rest of the season, period. Especially when the last 2 weeks are in Pitt and at Virginia Tech, which are 2 hard places to play in the cold, in winter.
Yeah.
You better hope Georgia Tech loses to somebody or Louisville loses to somebody somehow, some way. Somehow, some
So
way.
basically, what I got from all this is that if they lose one more game, doesn't even matter if it's against Stanford, one more game and the rest of the way, it's all over.
If they lose one more game, it's still possible, but the odds are so far because there's only 6 more games left, Daniel, or in some cases 5, depending on your bye weeks. But
Yeah.
it's looking very bleak. If they were to lose one more game, it's looking very bleak.
I got to
To be
ask you
honest.
this. We'll go back to the rankings.
Mhm.
How legit is Indiana?
Man, boy, that old boy Mendoza, that old boy Mendoza looking good, bro. I mean, we knew
Yes.
Indiana from last year was kind of like sneaking up on everybody.
Yep.
That is Indiana like? Are they like that? And then they lost to Ohio State, and then they got humbled. But
They took a step forward this year.
yeah, like they're taking that next step, and then they're really doing something. Oh, man, bro, I'm telling you, like I don't know. I don't think they're at the Ohio State level. To be honest, I think Ohio State is still the best team, but I would take Indiana's quarterback over Ohio State's quarterback, but I would take Ohio State's receivers over Indiana's,
Yeah.
Ohio State's defense over Indiana's. But I think Indiana plays way tougher football than Ohio State does. Ohio State uses more finesse. That's in my opinion. That's just me. That's just me. Now, I'm not gonna say Indiana can't pull it off, but I am gonna say it would be a very interesting game. Like, let me see here. What's their schedule? UCLA dub, Maryland dub, Penn State
They
dub.
dub.
This is the most disappointing team of the year. Wisconsin dub, Purdue dub. They should win out, and then probably win they would have to go up against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship.
Which would
That
be one hell of a game.
Daniel, listen, that right there screams sports and social Saturday night all over it, bro. You book your ticket. I'm gonna be in front of that TV watching it with buffalo wings. Oh man, that's gonna be so good.
What? Okay,
Oh,
so do you think SEC title game could be Alabama Georgia?
I think so. I think it could happen. Let me see Alabama's schedule. For everybody looking, remember South Carolina. I think Alabama handles that. Despite the North Sellers, I think they're going to handle business there. LSU at Alabama, nah.
Could be
John
interesting.
Mateer, it could be, but I think LSU they're going to move on from Brian Kelly, and I think that ship's already falling. Oklahoma, that would be interesting with John Mateer. That's not. I'm not going to even mention that. And then Auburn.
Auburn.
This game is always a tough
Tricky.
one.
The Iron Bowl.
Bro, Alabama and Auburn always have like a rough relationship with those games. And then let's look at Georgia's, Florida. I'm not gonna lie though. I think you've seen it recently, Daniel. Florida, despite having fired Billy Napier,
Yep.
their defense is pretty damn good, and they're playing pretty good football right now. I would be scared to face Florida now than when we played them in week 4. Honestly. And then
Okay.
Mississippi State,
Mississippi State.
no. That's easy. Texas,
Yeah.
no. That game right there, Daniel.
Yeah. Georgia.
This
Georgia
game
Tech.
right here. Georgia Tech could lose this game and still make the ACC championship game because this is a non-conference game.
Yeah.
Because this is non-conference, this doesn't affect the ACC standings, bro. That's how crazy it is.
But that will be one hell of a game.
Yeah, this could screw up Georgia. This could screw up Georgia's chances for depending on if they make the playoffs or where they're seated if they lose this game. And this would scare me because if Georgia Tech wins this game, I'm scared if Miami does actually make the ACC championship game somehow. I would be scared to face this right here, bro. Especially that they've had our number the last 2 out of the 3 years. This team right here is scary. And I told you, bro, I told you this. What did I tell you, bro? When they fired the head coach from Georgia Tech 2 3 years, I forgot 2 3 years ago, and they hired the new guy. I said, bro, I warned. It's something about having a new guy in that you don't know what to expect, and it ended up working out for them. And then look where they are now, bro. Look where they are now.
Let's talk about a team that's not in the rankings, and it's our other hometown team,
Yes,
the
sir.
FIU Panthers and Willie Simmons. They played last Tuesday. They play again tomorrow on another Tuesday. Janka, I was utterly shocked that they put belt, I'm going to say it like this, belt to ass in Greensboro, or not Greensboro, Bowling Green, Kentucky, against Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. A team that I could say probably in the last decade have manhandled FIU. I could not believe that they came away with the victory that they did against the Hilltoppers on the road. And you see, we look at the schedule here, victory against Bethune-Cookman. We saw a valiant effort. Yes, the score line says 34-0 against Penn State, but they held Penn State to 10 points at the time, Penn State being the number 2 team in the country. Only 10 points in the entire half, stopped them about 3 or 4 times on fourth down. Then the Shula Bowl returns to Miami away from Boca Raton after
Great day.
defeating their rivals FAU. Then this loss, I still don't understand, against Delaware, 38-16. UConn, I can understand. There's a team that we've had trouble with the last couple years. And then here's the Western Kentucky game out of nowhere that leaves me scratching my head. They got Kennesaw State tomorrow, which I will say Kennesaw State is no pushover team. They're 4-2. It'll be an interesting game tomorrow. I think if they can beat Kennesaw State tomorrow, I think in Willie Simmons' first year as head coach, he can bring this team to a bowl game. And I'm not saying it, but I do think that if they beat Kennesaw State tomorrow, Conference USA can be in play.
Man, I don't want to get my hopes up, bro. I don't. Even though I've been confident on this team since the offseason. Damn. I mean, I really want to go to that game tomorrow, to be honest, but NBA starts tomorrow and
I'll tell you what ESPN predicts, because I've looked at it already. ESPN predicts us to lose against Kennesaw State. They predict us, put the schedule back if you can. They predict us to lose to Kennesaw State, lose to Missouri State, beat Middle Tennessee, beat Liberty, lose to Jacksonville State, and beat Sam Houston. That's what ESPN predicts us to do.
So they think it's going to be 6-6.
6-6, which still gets into the bowl game.
Damn, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just the way. Okay, the way we came off of this win against FAU, and then we fall like a drop of deuce against Delaware. That cannot happen right now.
Yeah,
we need to come off to this win and play Kennesaw State. We're at home, so we should have at least some sort of momentum. FIU needs to be packed for this game. We need to rile them up, bro. Pause up, and this game, bro. Kennesaw needs to. We need to get this game right here, bro. If we can take this game, we go 4-3, and then I think I don't know what to expect.
That game right there, the Missouri State game, is the game that I can see being a Delaware game.
They're 3-3. They're the same thing as us.
Yeah.
They're coming off a win against Middle Tennessee, who's having a bad year, 22-20. Let me see. Western Kentucky, who we beat, lost
27-22.
Okay, that's whatever you team. Damn, 28-10 against SMU is like that's not bad. I'm gonna show some respect on that one. To hold them to 28-10.
Hey, and 21-20 to Marshall.
Yeah, at Marshall,
Yeah.
and then that's like, whew.
Yeah.
Oh man, bro. Depending on what happens here, will affect what happens here. If they if they squeak out a win or a loss in a close game right here, I think we could sneak up and take that one. I think we could sneak it. But the rest of the schedule, I think we beat Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think mm,
The Liberty game is tricky, man.
and then the Jacksonville State one. That one's a little bit tricky. It's a 3:30 game. I actually might want to go to that game, to the Liberty game. But yeah, this one and this one. Oh my bad. Yeah, Liberty and Missouri are going to be the two ones that I'm going to be looking out for. Oh man, I'm going to
Yeah, I
say
agree with you.
I'm going to say worst case scenario, we go 7-5. And I
Okay.
think 7-5, I don't know if it's enough to win or make the conference USA
Title,
championship.
yeah.
Yeah, but it is a better start than what we've had the last couple of years. To be honest, like,
Oh yeah.
or
Four
we
and eight the last couple years.
or we could go 8-4 if we can get one off of probably Liberty and Jacksonville State. If we can win both those games, I think we go 8-4 and we lose one of these.
The best season in FIU history under Butch Davis was 9-4.
With a bowl game win, right?
Yes.
Hey, that would be crazy. Just going 7-5 or 8-4 in your first season as a head coach is a win for me. That's what
And
I'm
it does
saying,
wonders for recruiting.
bro. Especially like we took a big step from being dog water to being somewhat relevant in the conference. Should say things about your coaching, and then the better
Which,
you recruit and the
yeah.
more money you make will affect your NIL. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna get some boosters coming in, some NIL, some FIU alum that has money. Say, hey, we'll donate some money for you guys to help out the athletic program. Hey, you never know.
And the last time FIU made a conference championship game and won, which was against Troy in the Sun Belt Conference, Mario Cristobal was the head coach, and T.Y. Hilton was part of the team.
Damn, T.Y. Hilton, bro.
Yeah, man. So we're going to stick with football, but we're going to the NFL. And Jonka, I will say it's only very fitting that both Dolphins fans decided not to show
Yeah,
up tonight.
funny
Decided
how that
not to
works.
show up tonight.
We go,
Because,
we go fishing, baby. We go fishing.
yeah, you're going to need a heavy line to catch a dolphin on that. But it's only fitting that both Brandon and Blake, the two Dolphins fans, are not here tonight to talk about their team. But you know what? That's fine, Jonko. We will have lots of fun doing it.
Yeah, I've been having fun all day. What are you talking about? You know how many Dolphin fans show up at work, and I get to talk crap because I'm a Patriots fan.
Listen, 31-6 loss to the Cleveland Browns. First of all, when I saw the weather forecast, I told you, oh, that's it. They're not winning that game. They're not winning that game. Tua with another 3-interception game, which Mike McDaniel says today, yeah, Tua's our starter, but we don't need another 10 interceptions. We also see today that Chris Greer and Stephen Ross are not making any changes at the moment. This team has to be, I want to say they're the worst team in the NFL. We looked at their schedule the other day, or yesterday, should I say. They might not win another game this season. They might not. This team is so bad, and let me tell you, I think, and I will bring it up, and I don't care if he's not here to defend himself, but Brandon had the audacity to say that Tua Tagovailoa is a much better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Which, by the way, Isn't it not Dak Prescott who hasn't thrown a turnover in the last 4 to 5 games? I'm sorry, your turnover machine quarterback is throwing three almost every single game.
He's tied with Geno Smith for the most.
It's terrible. How you can defend this man, which finally he made this shocking discovery yesterday. They said, yeah, guys, Tua might not be it. Well, gee, I could have told you that 20 years ago.
Bro.
He's just such a bad quarterback. He doesn't take accountability for himself. Has to come out last week and say, yeah, my bad, guys. I want to apologize for what I said. I think there's locker room issues in Miami. I think that this organization right now is disheveled. It's a mess. Mike McDaniel, it's a hard situation to be in as a head coach, but he's out there in press conferences. I mean, the man doesn't know what to say. He might be a great coordinator on a team, but I don't think he's doing great as a head coach. I don't think that the Dolphins, both McDaniel and Tua, have handled situations well this season. We obviously know that Stephen Ross and Chris Greer are dog water as well. And a year where Dolphins fans had hope of being something and making a deep playoff run is down the drain. This team is really bad. You got to blow it up. But now you are stuck with having to pay Tua because you decided to make that financial commitment to him. And it was just a couple years ago where all of Miami was saying, oh, tank for Tua, tank for Tua, tank for Tua. And he skipped out on quarterbacks like Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts, which, by the way, Jalen Hurts has already won a Super Bowl, and Justin Herbert is doing way better than Tua Tagovailoa. This is bad. This is very bad for the Miami Dolphins. This might be a year at the end of the year where we might see Tyreek Hill gone because who would want to stay here? I mean, we might see Jalen Waddle out the door. He's flirting with the Giants and Jackson Dart. There's nothing else to say here, but the Dolphins are a floating pile of garbage.
Bro, I mean, I don't know what else I could possibly say that I haven't said for the past 3-4 years. First of all, I like I said, why are you gonna pay Tua when he still has a year left on his contract? Let him play out the year and see what happens. Which I think it was this year that he would have been playing out his contract. If they would have just done that and this would have happened, they would have not had to pay Tua. And they could have just easily just put in Quinn Ewers.
Yep. Which, by the way, it's before you continue, it's so unfair to him to get thrown into this situation. And then, he walks and McDaniel gives him a cold shoulder as he goes to the sideline. Like, well, what do you expect the kid to do? His first snaps in the NFL, he's thrown into this garbage.
Especially, I don't know what it is. I think Mike McDaniel would be, again, like a good offensive coordinator, but he is not a head coach. Second of all, I do not see a single person on this team who represents a good offensive line. Like, all we hear is Weaver for the defense, Mike McDaniel is the head coach for the receivers and the playmaking. But we never talk about who is in charge of this offensive line. Like, seriously. Because if you want to have a good quarterback or you want Tua to succeed in a way, you need to give him time in the pocket and you need him to, not get concussed every other play. And you're not doing that. You're mishandling all the money. Players are getting paid this and that. Players aren't even showing up to player-only meetings. The head coach looks like he's high every time he walks into a press conference. Tua is throwing his players under the bus. Tyreek Hill is wanting to leave the team in the middle of the game. Waddle's already flirting with Jackson Dart in New York, who is missing a wide receiver after Malik Neighbors is down for the year. This team is absolute.
Oh, and Darren Waller just got hurt.
Yeah, he's out too. So now one of their better receivers who just came in, who had a great splash for 2 weeks, is now out. I would rather say right now their best player is Devon Achane. And I'm wondering if I'm Achan, would I sign an extension for the Dolphins?
No, I wouldn't.
The only way I could see him signing is because he's only like only wants good stats and he would get basically all the touches. And that's the only way I could see it. But if they're not going to make improvements to the O line, which I'm not expecting them to do because that defense is trash, and they have no money to spend, really any money to spend in the free agency. So I'm expecting them to fix the defense and just chalk it up to everybody getting healthy, and then maybe we're making a workout next year. This team is so bad.
I have never seen an organization that makes such bad decisions. You're literally now hostage and forced to stick with Tua.
It's so bad. Like, and Stephen Ross, bro, like he says he's a Miami Dolphins guy, bro. Like, yeah, you own the stadium. Yeah, you put F1, you put tennis, you could put anything, anything else, pickleball if you wanted
Rolling
to.
Loud.
Yeah, all these concerts, World Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, anything else, college football, everything. But yet, you say you're a Miami guy, you're a Hard Rock Stadium guy, but yet you live in New York, buddy. Like, stop. Sell the majority shares of the team. Give the ownership to somebody else that actually cares. Sure, you can put in money for all the facilities and stuff if you're a guy, you're the Miami guy, right? You could put in the medical centers, you could put in all the high-tech facilities all you want. But just give the management of the team, fire Chris Greer to somebody else. Just whole new ownership. Because I'm scared to what's gonna happen if this team continues to lose this bad and Ross continues to not do anything. Because from what we're hearing from as of today this morning, they're not gonna make any changes.
Nope.
And if that's the case, if you're not gonna make any changes now, why would I wouldn't be shocked if they don't make changes at all. And it's the same thing for next year.
Well, from what we heard this morning of them not making changes is because Chris Greer and Stephen Ross believe that Mike McDaniel, Jonka, I'm not making this up. They believe that Mike McDaniel has time to turn this around this year.
You know what? Let's
and they want to give him the chance to do that.
Okay. That might be the funniest thing I've ever heard. But you know what? Let's do something, Daniel. Let's have some fun with this. Watch this. Hold up. Okay. All right. Let's see. Turn this around. All right, guys. Entertain me this for a second. At Atlanta, L. Baltimore, questionable, but probably an L. Derrick Henry might go for 200 yards. Buffalo, L. Washington, L. New Orleans, they're not bad. They're not bad. L. New York, this game right here, Miami has to lose this game. Miami has to lose this game. And guess what? If you're a Jets fan, you have to also lose this game. Because whoever loses this game most likely gets the first overall pick. And so this right here will determine what is the Miami Dolphins criteria. Do they want the second pick or do they want the first pick? Because I'm thinking New York Jets want Fernando Mendoza and they want him as the next quarterback. And if that's the case, Miami Dolphins might be out under the quarterback unless they want somebody else, but I don't see.
I think they go for the second pick because I still believe that they think Tua is the guy. They already financially committed to him.
If they stick with Tua, then I can see them trading back and getting a bunch of assets. But just having that first overall pick just does so much for you because I know for a fact, since my experience from last year, Gerard Mayo decided to win the last week against Buffalo when they sat Josh Allen and all his starters, and we ended up winning that game, and we ended up not getting the first overall pick, and it kind of like, in a way, screwed us over because we would have still drafted Will Campbell, and we would have had like probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 extra picks for maybe the last year's draft and maybe future draft picks. You like it's all what you can get. So that's the only situation I can see the Dolphins trying to go for. Go for the first overall pick and just try to trade back and get a bunch of picks. And then use those picks to bolster the offense, to bolster the roster. And maybe that will help them out in the future. But I just like at the same time, if you don't, let's say you fire Mike McDaniel, right? But then the next guy you hire has a completely different mindset, and the guys that you have now aren't worth anything. Like, what kind of team are you going to have? You're just going to have a team of people that were Mike McDaniel's guys, and then a team of the new guy. So I'm gonna bold prediction: Mike McDaniel does not get fired. Chris Greer stays the GM, and Tua probably remains the quarterback. And this train will continue. And Dolphin fans are gonna continue being delusional and still think that that change is coming. So
let's if you guys want more Dolphins talk, there'll be a lot more tomorrow on Sideline with Brandon Hernandez. We're gonna switch gears here. Jonka.
Yes, sir.
Big question here. I asked my boss, Dennis. Shout out to Dennis. I asked him this question the other night. Is Shohei Ohtani the greatest baseball player to ever play the game? This man, in the closeout game against the Milwaukee Brewers, which he pitched, had 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs. Is this guy better than Babe Ruth? Is he better than Jackie Robinson? Is he just the greatest baseball player to ever play?
And I think 2 of the 3 home runs were out of the park, right?
Yes.
Ooh, wait, breaking news. Mike Evans sustained a broken clavicle and will miss most of the season. Yeah, so he might be out. So all fantasy owners who have Mike Evans, get him out of there.
Which, if you guys want more news on that, Friday, plug picks.
Yeah, that's right. Plug picks. Shout out.
Ohtani.
Do I think Ohtani? Man, it's hard to say. It's hard not to say no. Or not, wait. It's hard not to say yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like Babe Ruth, he was in an era where it's like, I love Babe Ruth. I'm a Yankee guy. Like, if you guys don't know, he's a legend to me. But at the same time, like, bro, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson, whoever else you want to throw in there. Like, this guy, bro. This little real life Goku showing up. Bro, you don't understand. This guy is walking up to the plate or to the mound, and you're just like, you're scared for your life on both sides.
There's pitchers, and we've seen that in the series against the Brewers. They won't pitch them.
It's really entertaining and really like crazy to see how we have a player, not even American, like it's just more like an international player, just be so good at the game and take over the sport, bro. Especially that, all my Ohtani cards have gone up in value. Shout out to Ohtani. Thank you. But Daniel?
Yeah.
Oh, you were frozen. Okay. Yeah, bro. At this moment, I don't know if I want to give a full yes, but I wouldn't go against anybody that says yes.
So I'm looking at here stats between Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, the stats are like ridiculous.
So Babe Ruth only played from 1914 to 1935. Obviously, Ohtani's been playing since 2018 in the MLB. Um, Batting average for career, Babe Ruth was at 342.
Not bad.
Currently, Ohtani's at 274.
Okay.
Babe Ruth, 714 home runs. And Ohtani, as of 2025, is at 191.
Home runs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Ohtani can catch him.
Man, bro. That's so tough.
714, man. That's
For a lot of, even like for sluggers, like Aaron Judge and I think this year Cal Raleigh and all the others, I would say like a good year is like 50 to 55. Maybe you have a great year like 60, but you got to do that for consistently every year. And you said from 14 to 35, right?
Yeah.
For Babe Ruth, that's 19 years. And then at the end he got cancer, so it's so tough. I don't even expect Ohtani to be playing for that long, to be honest. Even though he did sign I think
10
it was
year.
a 10-year contract and all the money was deferred. Like I could see him like by the end of the contract being like, all right, you know what? I've won like maybe 3, 4, 5 more titles because this team is crazy. And then he's like, you know what? Yeah, see you guys. I'm out. That's it. Like he ends up having like a bunch of titles. And he doesn't really care for the stats, and he can just do whatever he wants. I can see that happening.
So it says here, sorry to cut you off, but it says here, Ruth built the foundation for baseball superstardom and forever changed how offense was viewed. Ohtani is achieving what Babe Ruth did, but against the toughest talent pool the sport has ever seen.
Yeah, I would say the pitching and the talent now is way better than what it was back then. I just think it's like Babe Ruth was just in a class of his own in an era where it's like there were good players. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna disrespect anybody from back then. But if you put in one of the top pitchers in the league now against back
Babe
then,
Ruth?
I don't know if Babe Ruth can handle that.
Put him up against a Yamamoto or a Sasaki.
Or just anybody in general, to be honest. I don't think they'll be
Snell.
Yeah, like I don't think they'll be able to handle it. I think all the different pitches now, all the different like the skill set is like so different that it's a whole league of its own. And like you could probably put me in back then, and I'd probably at least get a couple hits in. Like, nah, bro. It's if he continues to do this, because I mean, not gonna lie, like, I know it's 19 years, but those records, it's really tough to beat.
Yeah,
you have to be hitting home runs like 50 to 60 a year for a long time and avoid injury. And if you do get injured, it has to be like a minute, like very small, like amount of time. So maybe you can just catch up on the home runs. But you said 191.
Yes.
Damn, he was at 700. What 19?
714.
Man, he would have to like just think about it. For if he would do, bro, that's crazy. For 2 years, 50 each, that's 100. For 5, bro, for 10 years, he would have to hit 50. And that's only 500. He would still have less.
Let's see most home runs in MLB.
If he had 50 for the next 10 years, he would still have less.
So Babe Ruth is actually number 3. There's 2 players that have surpassed him.
Yeah, I think it's Barry Bonds, right?
Barry Bonds at 762.
Okay.
And Hank Aaron at 755.
Yeah, Hank Aaron.
Wow.
Bro, where's Aaron Judge at? That's a funny question.
Aaron Judge is not in the top 10.
No, he's not there yet. Let me see. Judge career.
Alex Rodriguez was at 696.
Aaron Judge, is at 368. So
I
if you
give
just switch
Otani
it,
time.
yeah, I just think it's like the pitch. It's him pitching and also hitting, which could like kind of like screw up his batting in a way because if he pitches too much, it could affect his swing or his at bats.
Which I will say the Dodgers staff have done a good job of, you know, overseeing how much they use him.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. I mean, you don't really have to use them too much. Like you got a bunch of good pitchers. You don't really need to use Otani, but when you do, he can give you a couple. Like I would say a good pitch count until you can take him off, especially with his hitting. Like it's a double, bro. It's a double header, bro. It's a
Like
double-sided header.
they knew in this last game, 3-0 in the series against Milwaukee. Obviously, closeout games are tough. Closeout games are always tough. Then we want to have someone on the mound that's going to seal. It's been a tough year for the Dodgers, which is even more
Yeah,
amazing that they made it to the World Series.
I told you the whole time. It was like, bro, just relax, just relax. It's
It's
not that big of a deal.
it's been a tough year on them, especially for the bullpen. And so they said we want to throw in on the toughest game, the closeout game, for sure, an ace to shut this game down. They threw in Otani in there, and well, 10
10 strikeouts.
strikeouts.
That's crazy.
And if you thought that was crazy, the game before that, or I believe it was game 2, Yoshinobu Yamamoto with 14 strikeouts, and he went the distance, a complete game from Yamamoto. I, I mean, there's not much else you can say to that, but we do have to wait. The World Series game 1 is on Friday. Awaiting the winners of Toronto Blue Jays and Seattle Mariners. What is it? What is it?
Oh my god, the Toronto Blue Jays have taken the lead at the. Oh my god, it's 4-3, one out in top of the ninth, and
What?
Seattle is at bat. They
What's
have,
the series?
it's tied 3-3. This is it.
So we might be getting Blue Jays and Dodgers.
This could be live.
Yeah, we could be seeing
Two
this
more
live.
outs from Toronto going to the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And so quickly, we got 3 minutes here, but what was your initial reaction to that? Dodgers Blue Jays.
If it happens, um, I think it's gonna be a fun one. I think there's a lot of firepower on both
Yeah.
sides pitching. This is probably a series that I think everybody's gonna tune in for. We finally get to see one, not Aaron Boone and the Yankees. You know, especially I know they're my team and I say it like that, but like until Aaron Boone's gone, we're not going anywhere. But yeah, I think you got what's his name, Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah.
Shout out to his agent. I know him, Shane Bieber. I also know his agent. We hopefully I'm trying to get him on. Kyle, going at you, calling you out. Uh, I think it's gonna be fun though. I think it's gonna be really good. This team.
But do you think Toronto can handle all of these firepower that the Dodgers have?
We're gonna have to find out. We're gonna find out what they're made of.
Yeah.
I mean, to me they play in the hardest division in baseball. With my Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles,
Rays.
and Rays. Yeah, it's a tough division. So they're battle tested. I will say that. And to go the distance with Seattle, who's been hot this whole year, with Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez and Polanco, Eugenio Suarez, they're a stacked team too. So I'm not gonna put it over them, but it would be nice to see them at least put up a fight.
Yeah, because this is a Dodgers team that you think you got them. You can be up 3-4-0. You think you got them.
Listen, you don't have to remind me, Daniel. I see what you're doing.
You think you got them, and they just come out of nowhere and have a space. Dude, I mean, a lineup. You're talking about a lineup with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts,
Two outs left. 2 outs. One out left. One out left.
One out left.
Julio Rodriguez is at bat.
Oh boy.
And Cal Raleigh's next. Oh my God.
Who is on the mound for Toronto?
I think it's Justin Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh my God.
This could be it. We could be seeing the World Series right here. Set up the World Series.
And we could also be seeing a potential home run. And we're gonna have it here live. Fuck it. For everybody watching. Wait, why am I doing this when I have ESPN right here?
Yeah, put it up here. Hurry up before
Yeah.
the end of the game.
Oh my God, full count. It's a full count.
3-2. You guys are seeing a possible American League Championship right here come down to the wire.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
It's over. The Toronto Blue Jays are the American League champions, and they will face the Los Angeles Dodgers Game 1 of the World Series on Friday. Of course, my Los Angeles Dodgers trying to go back-to-back. But again, live here on Plug Talk Sports, the Toronto Blue Jays eliminate the Seattle Mariners to become American League champions, and they will head to the World Series to face the LA Dodgers.
Bro, George Springer, the former Astro, ends up hitting the game-winning home run to put him up and head to the World Series. What a right, bro.
And what a way, right? What a way to end this episode, right? Could have called it any better.
I'm calling out Blake and everybody else for not showing up.
Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a fun and interesting ending to episode 203. We hope you guys have a great rest of your week. As always, we have our whole bunch of shows throughout the week. You can see it here. Tomorrow we got Sideline. Wednesday we've got Courtside. Obviously, NBA season starts on Wednesday. Tomorrow, actually, but the Heat start on Wednesday. Thursday, myself with Pressing Matters. Jonka with Plug Picks on Friday. We've got Isaac with the 5th round on Saturday. And, of course, one-timers on Sunday. So tune into all of that. Tune into all of our social media. We appreciate all of the support, guys, and we'll see you for a brand new episode next Monday.